John Campbell here with the Winter Livestock Market Report from yesterday, April the 7th. The handle was a little over 5,500 cattle. Most of our cattle were light, thin stocker cattle for a back to grass and replacement heifer sale. All classes a lot higher, a lot of action, 5 to 10 higher. These 4-weight steer calves on up to $1.85. The bulk of the 5-weight cattle with condition, 160, 65. Had some up to $1.69. Some better strings of these thin 6-weight cattle would bring in the low 50s. 7-weight cattle going to the feed yard, 120 to 127. If they went to grass, they'd bring $1.30 to $1.34. Heifers, $1.50 to 60 on the little 4-weights. 5-weight heifers, 130 to 35 would catch the bulk of them. There'd be an end up to $1.49. The 6-weight feeder heifers, kind of in the 120s, 120 to 125. Had a few replacements, those 7-weight heifers, and real good action on a replacement heifer, 130 to 143. The 7-weight heifers going to the yard, kind of a 92 to $1.11. The cows were a ton lower. They're telling me some of these cows that are being bought, it's going to be 3 weeks before they can kill them. So if you'll go right here on the Winter Livestock Facebook page, listen to Brian Winter's presentation, if you would, please. Same place you found me, only go to Brian. He's the better looking one. They've already, through this CARES Act, ear-notched $9.5 billion to cattle producers. And need to work on how they're going to distribute that. I'm going to be a hypocrite here for a minute. I don't like any of them. I don't like the programs, not any of them. I think if they'd throw them all out the window, we'd be a hell of a lot better off. But having said that, you have to remember, we have a government, not now, but through time, has been convinced that we need to keep food cheap. And we're at the bottom end of the totem pole on that deal. So if they're going to keep this food cheap, if they've already allocated the money, if they're not going to enforce the monopoly laws on these packers, I say just get right in line. And I know that's a hypocritical thing to say, but, they're giving $1,200 a head to every mother's son that here in Colorado, hell, they'll spend it on dope and whiskey and probably a big screen TV. And in 10 days, that same guy he'll need another $1,200. But let's put it in the producer's hands, the guys that are actually producing something, adding value, and get the money in commerce. And that goes back to the stocker, feeder, and the cow-calf guy.